Good evening. Another exciting day has passed. Okay, last week we had a wonderful sharing by you look like you have something to share with us.
I've put a good recommendation to my wife so that she will actually joining the English degree for a week. So yes.
Oh.
So
okay, we'll look after her.
I don't have the opportunity to have such a long week so my wife a full-time housewife, so she appreciate the teachings. So actually we are following we're following teacher Chai. So we learn from Chinese, but now after I know you more, then I also recommend this to my wife, and she like to join. So at the moment we are trying to arrange the timetable, who is to look after the children. Then there are some issues coming up as well. So because we have to send our kids back to my parents, so there's some uncomfortable issues because our kids have not been away from us. So my wife is a little bit worried. So I try to convince her to cool down and should be fine. Everything should take care of.
That's great because you are so supportive. Well, thank you very much, because this class that we're going to hold in November 25th to December the 1st, I think it is one of the most exciting classes we ever have. In fact, every class is more challenging than the last. This time, okay, I think your wife is only one of the 2 housewives, full-time housewife. All the rest are either businessmen. A lot of businessmen this time. Over half of them are businessmen. All the way from Brunei, Sabah, and I think another quarter are professionals, accountants, technicians, programmers, teachers, okay, and the rest are some students, 4 students, 2 housewives, 2 advertising agents, and a representative from Singapore, from the Sikh community. He's quite well known in the Sikh community in Singapore. So all the way from 17 years old to 83 years old. So how are we going to teach such a class? From 17 years old to 83 years old. Now this is very unconventional, but in fact it is traditional way of teaching, from ancient China. In ancient China, as long as your child wants to learn, okay, and if you're unfortunate that you cannot read because you didn't have the opportunity to study when you were young, you can enroll together with a very young children in the same class. So you will see this teacher, teaching the 8 years old with the 16 years old, 15 years old, all together. And they have no problems studying together. Because the teacher will teach by judging your ability. Okay? So for this time we have a topic like how to apply degree in corporations, which we did not have before, and if they are lucky, and I think they are very lucky this time. Why? Because Mr. Chai is going to deliver one class. We will do a simultaneous interpretation at the back, and our CEO, Mr. Wu, who you had a session with him before, he may be here also. If he's here, I'll let him talk about how to apply this degree in in corporations. Okay? And you're welcome to sit, at the back if you, if you're available, and if the children can be arranged. Okay? And we have lots of fantastic sharings from all these experienced people. One of them is a Dadok, and he's already teaching Dizugui to corporations. And he's here, I think maybe not to learn from us, but maybe we have to learn from him. So it's a very exciting class, and we're still looking for volunteers to help. So if you are thinking about volunteering for 7 days, it's still open. Our trainer is Miss Lina, and I know Lina didn't smile for a whole week now, because this time they have to live in like 2 places, 2 buildings. There are 5 floors that she has to put people in, and because there is another occasion coming. Are you familiar with Master Chinko? You? And he's coming. Yes, around the same time, Master Chinko. So it's going to be a very exciting course. You have all these people upstairs on the 3rd floor, and we have these 45 people on 1st floor. And by the way, there is one British. I mean, real British. Not, we who are raised in Britain. Right? He is, Caucasian. And 4 Indians. So 4 Indians. 2 Indians. Right? 2 Indians. Right? And we have 1 Muslim. 3 Muslims.
1 Muslim volunteer. We have 4 Muslims.
Oh, 1 Muslim volunteer. And some Christians, Roman Catholics, Christians, Buddhists, Taoists. Now, how are we going to conduct this class? What did you want to know? Huh? And a Sikh. Now, what do you want to know? We've got Hindus, we've got Sikh, we've got Roman Catholic, we've got Christian, we've got Muslims, we've got Taoists, we've got Buddhists. So, it's going to be a very exciting and challenging class for us. And how are we going to, unite all of them through Dizugui? Because Dizugui is a universal teaching that talks about universal principle that can apply anywhere at any time. Surrounding the topic of filial piety. How to be good to our parents, how to be good to our brothers and sisters, how do we make friends, how do we conduct our daily affairs, and how to be trustworthy, and how to love all people, and then how to study. It is pretty hard to have all the different religions, different cultures, to get together. But because our center is neutral, we talk about culture. It's more like a cultural exchange, values exchange. So we are able to have these people, as our friends, and come here and, share the rich experiences of every person. We even have to put up stickers, like that point to the Mecca. Point to the direction of Mecca, because they have to pray. Okay, so west, it's over that side. No, that side. So we have to point towards that side. So when they pray, they know they have to face that side. Okay? So your wife is very fortunate. Are you thinking about exchanging place? Oh, you want to come first? Yeah, why not? Or if you can arrange, both of you, because we have one class talk about the relationship between a man and a wife. Okay, how to apply Dizugui in our relationship. So there is one class which we're going to discuss about that. Now, usually this class will invite a lot of vivid discussions from those who are unmarried to the ones who are married. They're very, very, very interested in this topic. Okay? So, but unfortunately the enrollment is closed now. But volunteers it's already closed. But volunteers are still open. Okay? Don't worry, you have a chance. Every year we will have about 1 or 2 sessions like that, okay? And there will be tape, so you can share with us. And it is good for a wife to come in because she's going to take care of your children. Okay, so if your children are good, you'll be very what? You will feel relief. You don't have to worry about them. So it's good to let your wife to come in, okay? Okay. Now, we say this is a universal language, okay? Now, at the end of the chapter 3, we talk about if we ever want to remove something from somebody else, we have to ask. If we don't ask, it's amounting to stealing. Before I learned about this, I thought stealing just means what? I steal people's money, right? I steal people's things. But as soon as you take something from somebody else without permission, that is stealing. But you said, well, I just take these things, take a remote control, I went away, I used it, and then I put it back. There's nothing wrong with it. But actually, you should ask first. Ask for permission first. Now, when you are at home, do you need to ask for permission? No? Depends. Okay. Under what circumstances do we need to have permission? 家嘛，家怎么还要问 permission 呢？我不是随时开冰橱都可以吗？随时拿什么东西都可以吗？需要 ask permission 吗？ Do you need permission? Sure. When? 什么时候要拿 permission? 什么时候才知道我不是偷他的东西？你说我们需要 ask permission 吗？Don't? Yeah, have a habit of asking permission, okay? But if your mom told you, go ahead and just use whatever, whenever you feel you want it, then you already have the permission. Because if every day, if you open the fridge, you ask, Mom, can I eat this? Mom, can I open the fridge? Your mom will feel very what? 哎呀，够啦, don't have to ask me lah. Okay, so if she say, yeah, don't have to ask me, then you do it. Okay, you don't have to ask permission from her. But anytime if your brothers and sisters or even your spouse, if something on the desk or whatever which you are not familiar with, do not just take it away. Do not just remove it. Ask permission. Okay? Then you saw the diary on the desk. You saw your kid's diary on the table. Or under the pillow. Or under the bed. So you take it and read it. Yes or no? Some say yes, some say no. Okay, Jane, why no? This is the privacy, their personal thing. We shouldn't intrude on their privacy without permission. Okay. Should we take off the handphone and read it? We still don't, right? So even the medium is changed, we still don't take their stuff and read it without their permission. Okay? But why does he say yes? Yes, 你这很重要，这个点是偷看，是不是？你敢不敢说我看？不敢，我是偷看。为什么偷看？没有被批准看，叫做偷看。我记得有一个父母亲，他曾经说，为什么不可以看？是可以看的，我才了解我的孩子在想什么嘛，哈。那可是呢，他孩子是不相信妈妈，以后也不敢写什么东西去日记，因为他知道妈妈会来翻他的东西，这就不好了，哦。因为呢，孩子要相信你，他才会跟你讲话的。如果他不相信你的话，他也不会跟你讲真心的话，哦。所以那个是很重要的一个，我觉得一个 principle， okay? But somehow, if you find that the diary is always placed in a very obvious place, somehow if you find that your child's diary, it's always placed in a very obvious place that you can see. Maybe your child is trying to tell you something. 要不然日记我们都把它藏起来的是吗？ But why did he always put his diary out? Maybe he secretly wants you to know what he's thinking inside. 又不好意思，对吧？那这个时候你要怎么样？不要看？你稍微问他嘛，哎，你的日记又放在外面啊，你是要把它收好、收起来啊？ You listen to his reaction. If he feels that, oh yeah, sorry, I forgot, then he never do it again. Then you know pretty much he forgot. But if 2 or 3 days later, you saw it appear again. Actually, that's the time you say, 你是不是要我读一些、看一些东西？可以看吗？ Yeah, 可以看吗？ He would tell you, yeah, 可以看。I know that because I have done it once. Because I wanted my dad to read it, so I just purposely and read. But my dad never asked me anything. Because he was a very honored man. He never would snoop, or take a peek on anything. He just thought, she left it. Okay. But I was hoping that, please, pick it up, ask me. Pick it up. But he never picked it up. Okay? So, at different things that, you have to use your wisdom to gauge. Right? And so there are a lot of these principles, for instance, 用人物须明求，倘不问，即为偷；借人物及时还。When you borrow from somebody, you should return it right away. Why is it important? The answer is in the next 2 phrases, right? 后有急，皆不难。因为有借有还，再借不难啊，所以借的东西要赶快还。有没有记得这条？要很重要的，有借有还。我这个呢，我就很不好，我这习惯要改。我常常借人的东西忘记还，然后呢，我就看到这个笔，哎，怎么我又多一支笔的，好像又插在我的笔筒，所以这笔筒越来越多笔啊。或者是发现原来我到处拿这笔，人家给我或者借了，我就忘记是谁的，然后就忘记又还给他，其实是很不好的，应该把它记起来。我们应该把它记起来，借了什么东西要赶快还，才容易什么？以后有的好借哈，借钱，特别是借钱，你要记得还。And the principle about returning money is, if you may not be able to return the whole sum right away, but you can return a little bit at a time, and your credit still stands. The important thing is you return some money. Okay? Don't say that, well, I can't afford to pay everything now, so I cannot, return him any money. No, let's say if you borrow 5,000, you cannot pay all 5,000. Even if you pay 300 a month, the borrower is still happy. They don't expect you to pay them back right away. Okay? As long as you pay a little bit at a time, your credit is still good. Okay? So remember this rule, very, very important. 借人物及时还，后有急，借不难。好 ，You seem to have some question about borrowing. Any question on borrowing? Oh, okay. Now about borrowing. If you ever feel that you cannot afford to lose the amount of money you loaned, don't loan it. Okay? Just assume that you will never get it back. 有没有这样的大量啊？啊，有吗？要不要借钱给？我现在叫你借钱，1000块钱给我，要不要借？没有钱借给我嘛，对不对？是啊，没有钱借给我啊。你说我没有钱借给你啊，哎，就很清楚告诉我没有钱借，因为呢，我借了1000块钱给你，如果我不还呢，怎么办？你就很惨了，是不是？因为 you need the 1,000, okay? 那如果你借了我不还，你还觉得 OK 啊，没关系啊，那你就借我。你要 assume that 我可能不会还你的，那你还跟我还是好朋友，是不是？要不然你会看到我就看到1000块在那边没有还我。Haven't returned $1,000 to me. Haven't returned $1,000 to me. Okay? And especially when that is a relative. Especially when it's a relative. It's even harder if you cannot let go. So usually when we borrow money or when we loan money to relatives, you might as well consider it as a donation. A lot of times they just doesn't return the money to us. Okay. So for keepsake, but I said, what kind of measurement do we measure? Okay. Usually you help with monetary terms if that person really need the money to solve a problem. 就是救急救急啊，不救贫。你要救急啊，你想，你不要说他好有錢啊，佢做咩我救佢啫？Now, did you ever imagine that one day you lose your credit card? You lost your credit card. Somebody rob you, okay? You don't have a credit card, you don't have an ID, okay? You don't have a single penny, okay? But you are very rich. And then you bump into, let's say, okay? Jane has not been good to you all the time, okay? She's very rich, but she absolutely looked down on you, okay? But she got robbed, She got robbed, she got nothing, and she was very hungry, and she asked you to borrow her some money to go home. Would you borrow her? But you look like... Yes. Because Amadi is a great teacher, that's why it's there. She looks like as if... Teach her a lesson. So bad to me. Teach her a lesson. But I secretly follow her, make sure she's safe. But teach her a lesson. Well, exactly. Sometimes we want to teach people a lesson. 你很有钱吗？你平时都不管我啊，现在看你这样子，看你怎么啊 ？No， 他很急啊，这个时候要怎么样 ？Don't care how she or he, they treated us. It's important just to help them to get over it for the time being. Okay, 好了。Then you helped her, and then she go back to her own glamorous self. Next time she saw you, hey, who are you? Walked away. How do you feel? Exactly this. I helped the wrong person. I shouldn't have listened to Miss Song. See, that's the way she treats me. No, let it go. Let it go. Even though she didn't pay you back anything, just you have done the right thing. You have done the good thing. Okay, just hi, how are you? And okay. And she walked away. It's okay because you have done your part. You are the luckiest person, the most fortunate person in the world, and I can guarantee you, if next time the same thing happened to you, somebody will help you. You don't even have to ask. It's true, And I find that people who do voluntary work in the kitchen, they never have to starve. They always have people give them food. I don't know why. 在厨房发心的人不会饿的，你放心，他会有东西吃的是不是？所以你常常在厨房做义工啊，你不要怕，你知道吗 ？Somehow some people will help you. And whenever we got stuck, I didn't like the handphone. And I was driving with 2 passengers, and then suddenly I realized that the heat meter kept going up. And then it started to rain a little bit, not very heavy rain, but just rain a little bit, enough to cool my car down. Okay? Then but when I reached Kuchai Lama, it like started to smoke. So I had to pull it aside. Okay? Now, before I started driving that morning, I suddenly thought about bringing home a gallon of spring water, fresh from the mountain, for one elderly woman in the office. I just have that idea, okay? So I took the 1 gallon of bottle, then I filled it up with spring water, then I drove my 2 friends, back to KL. So then I had the water at the back of my car. So when the car started smoking, I put it over, and we lifted up, and of course it's the the insulation then started leaking. Right? But it so happened that I had a gallon of water. I had a gallon of water in the bag. Now, had I not thought about bringing back a gallon of spring water to the elderly woman, I wouldn't have that. I wouldn't have that water. Right? So I forgot all about it. Then after we lifted up the hood, we were standing there. We didn't know what to do, and we all didn't have a handphone. Then a motorcyclist pulled over and stopped there. He said, he saw our 阿弥陀佛 He said, 我是修理汽车的，我也念阿弥陀佛的。我是修理汽车，我是念阿弥陀佛，帮你看一看嘛。我说好啊，谢谢阿弥陀佛。所以那个有个洞啊，要那个水放下去，你还可以去走大概3-4个公里的。我想那你去拿水啊 ，Where I can get the water 啊？哎 ，the spring water at the back. The spring water at the back. So we came out and poured it in the the car, and it got cooled down, and I managed to go to the next gas station. And then from there, I poured some more water, and then I went back home. Right? So one thought of, a favor for some elderly lady, saved me from getting stuck on the roadside. Right? And for all the good things we did in other days, there was this army torfor landed from nowhere and helped me to fix the car. It was so funny. 我也念阿弥陀佛，我修理汽车，我帮你看一看。So don't worry, 你发心的话你一定有好报的。This is almost like a natural law. Right? So this love that that you have so rich inside you, don't just hide it in you. Always have this, we call it big stomach. When you walk into a Chinese monastery, which statue do you see first? You walk into this big, huge monastery, okay? The first area that you come into contact, you will see a statue. Which statue is that? 还没有阿弥陀佛在里面。弥勒菩萨是什么？弥勒菩萨就是那个 laughing Buddha. The laughing Buddha will greet you at the front. See his big stomach? Not that he ate too much lah. Okay? Doesn't mean that he ate too much and all the fats get into his stomach. It's a symbol. It's a symbol that he has what? He has a big stomach that he can accommodate many, bad things, good things. He can accommodate inside his stomach. And he's still laughing. Good or bad, good times or bad times, ups or down, he laughs. So as he laughs, he's telling us what? Come. Welcome to this place of serenity. Okay, welcome. And to be a good Buddhist, you have to laugh. Teacher Chai say you have to laugh at least what? How many times a day, Lina?
So for children laugh 180 times a day. For adults, only 17 or 7 times a day.
Okay, children laughed 180 times a day. For adults, she forgot. Meaning what? Meaning what? Too little, that's why she forgot. Maybe 6 or 7 or 8 she forgot, because it is so rare that adults laugh. But the laughing Buddha, what? Come to this place of serenity. Don't worry. Okay, let go. Put everything, you see, in your stomach. Okay, and I can still laugh. Welcome. And to be good Buddhist, or whether you are trouble, whatever, come. The world is fine. Everything is fine. Don't worry. That's what it symbolize. 那个肚子很大，很大量，而且笑脸常开。Okay. So it's a misunderstanding, to put the laughing Buddha as a symbol of money. 现在这个什么布袋和尚变成一个什么摇钱树 ？No, it's not alright. He symbolized 度量很大，a magnificent, a the ability to accommodate many things, okay? Not the ability to make money. Okay? So one day, he was walking with his big bag. Okay, the bag can be big, can be small. Okay, it's almost changing all the time. It's mutating all the time, and he can put a lot of things inside his bag. Have you seen the movie Mary Poppins? Mary Poppins, where the nanny can put a lot of things inside her bag and can take a lot of things outside her bag. So his bag is like that. Okay? So he was holding up his bag, walking, and somebody asked him, "Hey, so what is enlightenment?" Enlightenment? He put down his bag. So the pedestrian said, "Oh, enlightenment means let go." Correct, right? Enlightenment means let go. Then he laughed, "Ha ha ha, you're right." Then he lifted up the bag and then walked. And the pedestrian said, enlightenment is pick it up, lift it up. That means what? Engagement. So what is enlightenment? Enlightenment is both letting go and lifting it up at the same time. Which means that 你要放得下，也要提得起。放下又拿起，放下拿起又放下。我們是放下了就不管了，是不是？就走了。哎呀，你都冇善根啊，冇再勸你啦，冇得救啦，你是嘛？我們就你沒得救了啦。You are beyond salvation。我們就叫做 let go。This is not let go. This is what we call give up. This is not let go. Let go means what? You let go of your what do you call it? The attachment. 你是 let go 你的 attachment. Attachment to what? To money. Okay? To your happiness. Your so-called your desires. You have to let go of those. Not let go of things that like virtues. Not like that. Okay? You have to still pick it up. So let go does not mean give up. Okay? So then, okay, 你又拿起来 then you lift it up again. For us, lifting up means what? Cannot let go. No, lift up means it's your responsibility, you have to take it up. You take it up, then times you put it down. When you're tired, you put it down. When you're ready, you pick it up again. So, 舍得跟得舍。舍 is let go. 得呢 means you have, you get. You let go, you get something in return. Okay, you let go, you get something in return. 舍了就得。Then 得呢 after you get, 你要舍。You let go. Let go does not equal to give up. Let go, in fact, equals mean what? You let go of desires. Desires could mean greed. It's our number one desires. Okay. Our greed to be famous. And indulgence in your sensuality. let go just means refrain from our desires. Let it go. Okay. No attachment. Do not attach. Do not attach to greed, namesake, fame, so let go does not mean give up. Okay. After you let go, we lift it up again. We lift it up. Okay. We take it up again. So get means also mean we take up again. And whether he let go or he pick something up, he's always happy. He's always joyful. He never complained. Yes, Mr. Lee, you got a problem? Your question? Yeah. No? Okay. Now, so in order to have a really big stomach that we can stomach a lot of these aggravations, ups and downs, or joy or sadness in our life, let us look at chapter 5, love all equally. We have discussed chapter 4 at the beginning of the course, so I'm going to skip that and go right into loving all beings. 泛爱众. So from a small family, now we extend into a big family, into an outside world that we may think they are strangers, but we can love them as if they are our family. So the first verse of this chapter is, love all beings, for we all live under the same sky and are supported by the same earth. 凡是人皆须爱，天同覆，地同载. Do you remember Mr. Wu when he said, when he answered the question, when he answered the first question, remember what the question was? It was asked by an English-speaking audience. Do you remember what the question was? He asked, like, in Indonesia, the Chinese were blamed for the political turmoil, and he was asked, to come back to Malaysia, to help the Malays. So what was Mr. Wu's answer? Yes, we must help they what? Hand the friendship, our friendship to the Malays. 他说我们头顶别人的天，脚踏别人的地，我们应该对他们更好一点，是吧？他也没有说不要，我们对华人好就好了。So we drove past the hospital, one hospital. It says there, Chinese hospital. So he asked us, why Chinese hospital? So I said, because the early Chinese immigrants were poor, so the Chinese community set up the hospitals for the Chinese. So he said, it's actually better. A hospital should save everybody. Shouldn't just save Chinese hospital. It should just say hospital, and it should save everyone. Okay. But we said, no, but because nobody takes care of them, so we have to take care of the Chinese. So he said, yeah, even though other people don't take care of the Chinese take care of other people. 别人没照顾我们华人，我们华人去照顾别人，这个心量大不大？够大哈，是吗？对不对？他说别人不照顾我们华人没关系，我们要照顾别人。So when we walked out of the class, suddenly my world seemed so big. 以前就想，哎呀，我们要保护华人，为华人做事情啊，为华人这个什么什么。哎，他说，哎，没关系啊，别人不照顾华人，我们照顾华人，就是别的种族不照顾华人哦，我们要照顾别的种族。然后这个心量就很大了。然后呢，我就听到一些家长跟我说，他说，哎呀，是哦，以前怎么我没有想到哦？有没有想过你们？有没有想过要对马来人好啊？有吗？有没有？有哈？你们有吗？哈？你也有的？有吗？好像没有是吗？好像我就从来没有想过要跟他们怎么好啊。你住你的地方，我住我的地方，你做你的工，我做我的工，啊，我们这样河水不犯井水就好了，是吗 ？Do you have Malay friends? Ah, okay. So you have no problems mingling with them, and they're very nice people, aren't they? Very polite, very gentle. You have Malay friends? You have Malay friends also? Huh? That's good. And you? You have Malay friends? Workers. Okay, workers. Your colleagues also? You have Malay friends? You have Malay friends? No. 你们有马来人朋友吗？朋友 means you actually go and have lunch sometimes, you invite them over sometimes, you go over to their house sometimes. Not just working, hi, hello, selamat pagi, selamat petang, that type of, okay? Not that type of sort of like staffs, colleagues. Friends means you actually visit each other. You actually are concerned about their family. They are also, concerned about your family. Your kids play together. Visit each other. That kind of friendship. 不是说你好我好的啊，要我有朋友啊。No, 就 really 真的是互相的照顾的那种。你可以说这是我的朋友谁谁谁。So actually, it keeps me actually thinking also. Used to think that Malay is very. All these quotation marks. But hey, we're all under the same sky. We're all on the same earth. Maybe we should understand each other a little bit more. 真的要多想想他们。不要老是说人家对我们不起。但爱众，凡是人皆须爱，天同覆，地同在。那how do we have other people look up to us? How do we have people look up to us? By being a virtuous person. Now, what is the next sentence? Can you read to me? 天同覆，地同在，然后性高者。Read it in English. 241 to 244. Let's start. A person of good character is highly respected. Respect is not based on external appearances. Isn't that true? Do you respect a person because he's good looking? 是不是因为他好看，你就尊重他？啊 ？Plus. That's true. If he's good looking, but if he's a very virtuous person, that is a plus mark. Right? And don't you think usually a very virtuous person is good looking? Isn't it? A person with moral character is good looking. The way he talks, the way he conduct himself, he is good looking, or she is good looking. 有没有看过粗粗鲁鲁的很 good looking 很好看的？有没有？你没这样的事情？比如说我很粗鲁啊，你怎么看我都不好看的是吗 ？For instance, if I don't open my mouth, I may look like a model. But as soon as I open my mouth, and if it's all foul language, suddenly you will feel that I'm no longer beautiful, good looking. So a good looking person could be a virtuous person. A virtuous person is a good-looking person. So don't worry about you not looking good. You will look good if you are virtuous. 好像不相信啊，你们哈。你有德行的话，你就一定好看的。你没有德的话，你外表怎么漂亮啊，都会给人家看的。后来呢，看厌啊。一个有德的人呢，越看越好看。一个没有德的人哦，多看两下就觉得他其实挺闷的。我一直还很记得我那个大学同学，他跟我说，因为有一天他很少讲话的哦，他突然有一天跟我讲 ，I saw the most beautiful girls in the bus this morning. She was so beautiful, I couldn't keep my eyes off her until she did this. It totally threw me off. She was so beautiful, but she did. And my technician friend, he always says that, 哎呀，咁靚嘅女仔都要畫呢個咩㗎啦？邊度好睇㗎啦？有日都唔好睇㗎啦。最緊要人嘅心要靚。Most important thing, the heart must be beautiful. When the heart is beautiful, you will be beautiful forever, at any time, at any minute. But if your heart is not beautiful, no matter how beautiful you are on the outside, there will be times people get bored of you because you have nothing inside. Okay, the more important thing is your inside, your inner soul. Okay. So that's what it says here. A person of good character is highly respected. Okay. And respect is not based on just external appearances. Okay. But a lot of times, virtuous people, do have very respectable and very welcoming appearances. And next, 245, 248, a capable person will naturally have a good reputation. People are not won over by boasting or self-praise. Okay, you don't need to praise yourself, but other people will praise you. Okay? You don't need to be boastful. And 249 to 252, if we are good at something, we should be willing to use the ability to benefit others. That means help other people whenever we can. When we feel others are more competent than us, we should not criticize or slander them for being so. So if you're capable, help other people. And if you see another person more capable than you should what? You should actually praise them as well instead of slander them. Okay. Now, in the company, if you think that somebody else get a promotion, how do you feel when you see your colleagues or your friend get a promotion? Do you feel happy for this person, or you feel like slandering him or her? Slandering means 妒忌他呀，毁坏他呀。你看到他有升级了，给人家赞叹了，你会很高兴，还是会很妒忌呢？会妒忌还是赞叹？You feel proud of her， 这里是说 you feel proud of her instead of slandering them。有没有说你看到他好了，你反而很讨厌？妒忌啊？有没有这样的情况？有啊。好像你在家你又是 sister-in-law， 你发觉你的家婆老是赞那个别人，你的心酸不酸啊？酸是不是酸嘛？那你就讲什么？成日讚佢好叻咩？佢我仲好啦，做咩成日讚佢嘅？偏心啊，就是這樣咯。人所能，勿輕軋。己有能，勿自私。Go and help other people. So if you're good at something, go and help other people. 有没有哈？ When you're good at your homework, do you help your friends who are less fortunate? Huh? If they ask, if they don't ask, you also help Okay, so if they ask, but always give up the signal, hey, you guys, if you have any problem, come and ask me. Be the Mila Pusa, if you got any problems, come and help me. I may not be able to help, but I will sure find someone who can help. especially homework. So yeah, be generous and help other people if you're capable. Okay. 人所能勿轻视 that means if somebody else is more competent than you, don't feel jealous and don't slander them. 不要说哎呀，你看有什么了不起？人怎么样，那就不好了。应该说哎 very good, they're doing good things. Okay. 好。Now, remember last week when we shared about the grandparents, I told you about the short clip, how young children actually they have the affinity with their parents. Now I'm going to show you this clip tonight, and just imagine what did the children go through on that morning.
Τι είναι αυτό? Ένα σφραγίδι. Τι είναι αυτό? Μόλις τώρα στο παπατέρα, σπουργίτη είναι. Τι είναι αυτό? Ένα σπουργίτη είναι, πατέρα. Ένα σπουργίτη. Σπου-γι-τι! Τι είναι αυτό? Γιατί το κάνεις αυτό το πράγμα, μπορείς να μου πεις? Τόσες φορές σου είπα, είναι ένα σπουργίτη! Δεν το καταλαβαίνεις! Πού πας? Δυνατά. Σήμερα ο μικρός μου γιος που πριν λίγες μέρες έκλεισε τα 3 καθόταν μαζί μου έξω στο πάρκο όταν ένας σπουργίτη ήρθε και κάθισε απέναντί μας. Ο γιος μου με ρώτησε 21 φορές τι ήταν αυτό και του απάντησα και τις 21 φορές ότι ήταν ένα σπουργίτη. Τον αγκάλιασα τρυφερά και τις 21 φορές που μου έκανε την ίδια ερώτηση, ξανά και ξανά, χωρίς να εκνευριστώ, νιώθοντας στοργή για το αθώο μου αγοράκι.
It's like absolutely appalled. They all freeze at the same time, these children, the standard 6 children in Brunei. Okay? And they only defreeze themselves after they saw the man put his hand, arm on the grandparent's shoulder. They felt, they make up. They are, father and grandfather again. So this kind of feeling is universal. Now, I'm going to show you another clip. It's a Petronas clip about a daughter who discharged, have her father discharged, and let him go back to her house to spend the Hari Raya. Okay? So a Petronas advertisement. We'll see what happens.
Cik boleh balik? Rehat di rumah anak?
Lah, kalau boleh saya nak balik rumah saya sendirilah.
Abah, Abah balik rumah kita. Nani akan jaga Abah sampai Abah betul-betul sihat. Okey?
Tak boleh ke dia tahan Abah sampai lepas raya?
Dah tanya dah, tapi kata tak ada.
Berapa lama nak bela Abang?
Sampai dia baiklah, Bang.
Penyakit ni bukan boleh baik pun.
Habis tu nak buat macam mana lagi?
Dah apa? Tiba-tiba Abang kena kerja kat luar?
Tak apalah, Nani boleh minta tolong dekat jiran sebelah.
Okey, bagi ni. Kan apa? Kurma. Panas sangat kopi tu?
Taklah, tangan Abah kan tergetar-getar. Kakak, ambilkan Mama punya aku dengan kain.
Beli kapet baru raya ni.
Abah ni kenapa ni? Dah tahu.
Datang menghantuiku, masih mungkinkah pintumu dibuka?
Abah pakai lampin tak?
Betul.
Abah duduk sini Abah. Dekat dengan bilik Abah. Dekat dengan bilik air. Abah pakai dulang ni. Tak tumpah, tak pecah, tak berbahaya.
Atuk dah pakai lampin. Kasihnya Atuk oleh kata kuat-kuat.
Lihatlah, aku terkapar dan luka. Dengarkanlah jeritan dari dalam jiwa. Aku ingin pulang.
Tadi nak bagi apa tadi? Cendawan? Boleh. Main apa tu?
Nanti bila kakak besar, Abah dengan Mak duduk sini. Kakak dengan adik duduk rumah. Abah jangan lupa pakai lampin tau.
Lihatlah, aku terkapar dan luka. Dari dalam jiwa, aku ingin pulang.
It's very hard to take care of old people because you need a lot of patience. They are frail, cannot take care of themselves. So we have to be even more patient with them. Why did he always put off his hearing aid? He did it twice. Why did he do that? 他为什么要把他的耳机拿下来？ Okay, he didn't want to hear any complaints about him. What were those complaints about? 那些是什么样的埋怨呢？一个是在医院送他回来的时候，他的女婿问他：“他要住多久啊？知道吗？他要住多久啊 ？How long is he going to stay at our house?" And the wife said, "I don't know until he's well." Then the husband said, "Well, what happened if I get a posting, outstation?" Then they started to talk about, maybe he's a nuisance. Makes him feel like a nuisance in the house. So he took off the hearing aid. Right? Then the next time is during the dinner table. When the daughter asked, "Why, Dad, you behave like this?" Then he took it off. And he wanted to hear all these, complaints against him. But why do you think he behaved like that? 为什么老人家会这样？为什么老人家会这样 ？Lina？
I think grandpa is not heard those things that will hurt his heart and will lead to have a bad impression on her daughter and daughter-in-law. So he does not want to hear something about him, and he also does not want to have a bad impression on her daughter.
On her daughter. Okay. Okay, anything else? What do you think, you guess? Why did he not want to hear those things? Yes. Hai.
Because he was already feeling bad that he's behaving this way, and those comments just make him feel worse.
Those comments make him feel worse because he knew he was already in very bad condition. Okay, why would those comments make him feel bad?
So his daughter is basically his most loved one, and even his most loved one started saying bad stuff about him about others. So once he felt that probably no one loved him anymore.
Yes. The feeling of what? Not needed. I don't think we want to feel, we like to feel like not needed, that you are no longer needed, by your children. You are no longer what? A necessary thing in this life. 你已经没有用了。我们人真的最悲惨的是知道自己已经没有用了。一天一天就好在等着那一天的到来，而且自己的女儿，都好像不要再来爱自己。那他有没有尊严？老人家有没有尊严？老人家是有尊严的，就像我们有尊严，我们也不想换给人家觉得我们好像在连累他们。你如果不相信我，你有一天你如果听你的孩子在讲话，当他讲到你好像连累他的话你会很不舒服。So don't ever give that impression, to your parents, because that kind of impression will also imprint in your children. They would also, do the same thing, to you when you get older. There was an ancient story about a man, who was not filial towards his father. He always let his father, eat from the old broken bowl. 那个碗已经破了的，就让他的爸爸那边吃饭。那他的儿子问他：“你为什么给公公在这个破碗吃饭啊？你不用给他这么好的，他老了嘛，为什么给他这么好的碗吃呢？”所以就将来很不好的对他的这个父亲。那么当他的父亲病得很重的时候呢，他那个碗他就然后他就这个儿子就想到，爸爸终于可以去了，他就很高兴了，要把那个碗就开始可以收起来了。而且要把它就丢掉了。那个儿子就跟这个爸爸说：“爸爸，那个碗你要留给我。You have to save that bowl for me。”为什么他要这个旧碗他说 爸爸，这个碗要留起来，等你老了，我也是拿这个碗给你吃饭。哦，他吓了他爸爸一跳啊！啊，这样子啊！哦，他赶快把他那个很病的、很重的那个爸爸，好好的去照顾他爸爸，好好照顾他这个儿子的公公、祖父啊。因为他知道他在做的东西呢，孩子都在学，哦，所以 filial piety 是什么？是 universal 的，它是没有 cultural boundary， 有 cultural boundary、religious boundary。They can be applied anywhere. Apply to this love all equally. 那印度人有没有 filial piety 啊？有没有？他尊重不尊重老人家？他们都很尊重老人家的。好，要不要再看一个印度人的？我们来看看一个印度人的，好，做孝道，怎么对老人家，也是对祖母辈的啊，他是怎么来孝顺祖母辈？
These gigs right here, just picked them up, latest edition and hand signed with the man himself. Yo, enough of talk, man. Yeah. It's time to party. All right, let's go. Let's go party. Hey, Gina lah. Hey Gina, hey Lakshmi, how you girls doing? Hey. What's up, Gina? Hey, I'm Diggity. Excuse me. Party.
Yeah, man, we gonna party it up tonight.
Party.
நீ சின்ன தோற அப்ப கூப்பிடுறேன் பேசாம இருக்கிறீங்க ஏன் இப்படி இருக்கிறீங்க நெஞ்சு சொல்லியா
இல்ல
அப்புறம் ஆமா உங்களாம் யாரு கூட்டாளியா பேர் என்ன ஐயா
சாம்
என்னப்பா சாம்ங்கிறீங்க நல்ல பேர் இல்ல
முத்துசாமி கருப்பையா பட்டி பேரு
முத்துசாமி கருப்பையா நல்ல பேர் சாமி பேரு சரி இந்த முருங்கைக்காய் கனமா இருக்குது பசார் மலம் போனேன் அது வாங்கிட்டு வந்துட்டேன் அம்மா கிட்ட கொண்டு கொடுத்தேன் கொண்டு அம்மா கிட்ட கொடுத்து சமைக்க சொல்லுங்க.
The world is changing, but we should always be proud of who we are.
Not in Bangsa, dog. Not in Bangsa, dog. I think put it back in your man.
A much more light-hearted, expression of his respect towards his grandparents. Like at first, they were going to what? Party all night. Like, hey man, where do you get the red shoes from? He said, I did it from the man, designed himself, and let's go to party all night. And then they saw the female friends, and they said, hey Gina, let's party all night. And as he was saying that, he saw his grandma, Marty. And his grandma came and, hey, why don't you answer me? You got a chest cold? No. And who are these people? Well, they're my friends. Oh, your friend. What's your name? And he says Sam. Sam is what? Like a Christian, Western name, right? Sam. What Sam? What kind of name is that? And said, oh, Sam something, Sammy. That is a good name. And then he gave the muruku. Then to the grandson and say, hey, you take this home, for your parents. That means don't hang out too late. Then he walked away. And they said, yes, grandma. Right. That means when he saw the elderly from his family, he refrained himself. No longer that what? Hey man, let's go and party all night. Marty. So if children can have respect, for their elderly, they refrain themselves. They would not go like, too out of the way, and they actually can, behave themselves. So how can elderlies, set examples for the children? They don't just grow up like that, we as adults have to set examples for them. And disagree is a very good place to start. Okay? So for every single one of these phrases, it's worth for us to do. 不是给小孩子做的，不是给你的孩子做，是给我们自己做的啊。那你孩子听了，你就不要太高兴啊！你说妈妈做的，是不是这样？听了之后会不会说妈妈应该做，我们不用做？不是啊，你也大了啦。You are also an adult. You also will become somebody's parents. Right? So you have to start very young. Right? Now, next one, can we read this together? If we are good, from 253, quote 253, 254, 55 to 256. Okay, we'll start. Neither flatter the rich, nor despise the poor, neither ignore old friends, nor take delight in only new ones. There is a Chinese saying, 君子之交淡如水. A gentleman's friendship is as light as the water. Okay? 小人之交呢，甜如蜜。什么叫君子之交淡如水 Mrs. Kang, why do we say a gentleman's friendship is as light as the water? Don't you feel like having the passionate kind of like friendship or relationship? Okay, we must be courteous towards each other. So courtesy is the best distance between people. We need to keep certain kind of distance, okay, along the line of courtesy. And why not take delight in new ones? Because we like new things. Don't you like new things? 为什么要不厌故不喜新？不是 change new things 会比较好吗？都 change new thing 比较好，不好吗？其实老的东西也未必说不好的，因为它有 history。太太是越老的越好，还是越年轻的越好 ？Ask the man. You asked me to ask the man. Okay, yes, the man, Mr. Lee. 太太是越老的越好啊，还是越年轻的越好？不是说就是说 ，OK， 你这个老婆什么意思？就是说跟着你很久了，跟你同甘共苦很久，这个太太好，还是又去娶一个新的好？揪的比较好哈？为什么揪的比较好？你要不要先出去一下？我们这里为什么揪的比较好？ It's like the old shoes that's more comfortable. Right? You can kick it anywhere, and it's still snug, snug very comfortably to your feet. Okay. Now, anybody opposed, disagree with this? Now, keep it a secret. Okay. Don't ever tell their spouse. Whatever they say in this room. No. Yes. You seem to disagree because you kept saying, let me think. I totally agree. Okay. You don't need to second guess what the other person is thinking, right? 你不用去想，他喜欢什么，他喜欢什么。Okay? So new things does not necessarily be better. Okay? If it's better, then how come antiques cost so much money? 为什么古董这么贵是吗？对吗？有没有听说新的东西好像很贵的好像古董比较贵是吗？对吗？为什么古董会比较贵？它有 history 嘛，它有 time added value， 所以古董才值钱是不是？所以当你的先生叫你老婆好不好？好像没有什么 answer。那你要新婆吗？新婆还是好听，还是老婆好听？老婆好听吗？对不对？ 老公好听嘛，新公哪里好听？是吗？勿厌故，勿喜新嘛，不是什么新的东西就好的，你反而好好保养你这个好的东西啊，它可以 service 你很久很久的哈。勿厌故，勿喜新。你看我们学这个传统文化，它是不是越老很老的东西，它好不好？ These are old traditional teaching which are very beneficial to us. It doesn't mean that everything have to be new, everything have to be created, And we know that we shouldn't flatter the rich and despise the poor. Anybody here would despise the poor? Of course, we won't despise the poor. So you have to teach your children, do not look down on, anybody. 这个要教的，要不然小孩子会看不起别人。你看在学校我发觉很多小孩子很看不起别人的，他会笑那个同学啊。They will laugh at their poorer friends. 所以这个孩子要教哦。你说你们千万不可以去看低任何一个人。 要不然呢，他就在学校呢说，你看你穿衣服这样子的，这样丑。I was in Canada teaching a dancing class, and I personally saw this girl. Almost every day she bullied, the three sisters because the three sisters were new immigrants. They wore like kind of drabby clothing, and she would ridicule them. And I put her, straight. I said, you have no right to ridicule people. No, they are just as good as you are. And I think they are absolutely, they look beautiful, in their clothing. I don't want to hear you, keep on bullying them. 人家小孩子这么小都会，他从哪里学的？电视机学的，家里没有学，没有教好吗？各位是电视机学的吗？那你在哪儿啊？不要说电视机啊，他电视机学了，你看到他这样，你要怎么样？你要立刻纠正他，这个是不对的，不能够不利别人，就是不能够欺负别人，不能够 ridicule 别人 ，do not despise the poor。但看到人家有钱呢，就怎么样？哇，就是捧他 ，flatter the rich， 这也不对的哦。这从小就要教他哈这些道理。Then, when others are busy, do not bother them. When others are busy, do not bother them. 人不闲，勿事搅。When somebody is troubled, and do not make things worse by talking unnecessary. Okay, we'll stop here tonight, and let's talk about these two things. 人不闲，勿事搅；人不安，勿话扰。是因为这两句我们常常犯的，对吗 ？OK。你自己很烦呢，有一天自己心情不好哈，然后你要不要先看看你的先生有没有人不闲勿事搅，人不安勿话扰，有没有？还是你很急的就跟他说？要看一看，他是不是心里有些事情，不要老是要跟他讲话，可不可以给他先喝杯水啊？可以的。可不可以先安慰他几句啊？可以的，不要老是说你来我也很烦的，你又听我讲。你看因为女人她有问题的时候，她一定要讲话的，她要沟通的。可是男人有事情呢，他不一定讲话的是吗？是不是？他跟你是 opposite 的，所以你越要讲，他就越在想，他就不睬，好像不打你这样。那如果你越讲越烦呢，他就越听越烦呢，总有一天就是会吵架的。So give and take， 要先看看他，今天心情是不是不太好啊？是不是有些事情 bothering 他呀？所以是要想的，人不闲，勿事搅；人不安，勿话扰。你们有什么问题？你好像刚才好像。会笑啊！听到那个人不闲勿事搅，是不是整天都去就是你一定要听我的，你要听我的哈。那如果先生不听不睬呢，你还要不要再讲下去？要不要再讲下去？不要讲啦，暂停一下啦有个 method 是挺好的 你们两个快要吵架了，有没有这样的呢 ？Everybody argues, right? I mean, especially couple, you argue, right? 好了，你们快要吵架了 ，Okay, stop first, okay? Now, you have a truce, okay? Every 2 weeks you go out for dinner. Every 2 weeks you go out for dinner. That means 1 month you have go out for dinner twice, okay? Now, you write down everything that you want to scold the other person about. 你很生气哦，你先把它写下来，不能吵哈，两个先写你的，他写他的 ，OK？ 然后呢 ，during the dinner, okay, of course you all have to wear very nicely, go out to a nice restaurant, okay? Then you order nice meals, then you sit there, and then you take out this paper. 然后你就拿出这张纸来，你说某年某月某时，我其实是很想骂你的，我是骂你就这些事情 ，OK？ 那时候才来说嘛 ，but that is after 2 weeks, not on the spot。因为 on the spot 你也火，他也火嘛，是不是？就火上加火咯，是吗？不要那么火，先把它写下来，可不可以啊？先把它写下来 ，Miss 欧阳，先把它写下来哈，不要吵哈。先把它写的 write it down first, OK？ 那 parents 跟 children 也是不是一样啊？也可以一样的，今天又要吵架了 ，OK？Stop first， 先把它写下来，你写你的，我写我的。好了，你说2个礼拜等不及了，是不是啊？3天可不可以？还可以吧？可以吗 ？Try 了哈，try 了哈。对，你就很想马上爆发的 ，OK？Try 了3天了，不要说2个礼拜了哈，先试3天。先学个3天，能不能先忍一下？看到那张纸，很想就把这张纸丢过去了。你先把它收回来，再等2天。第2天了，哎，好，第3天了，终于来了哈！你打开来的，你一看，可能只会笑哎，怎么这么小气的？因为他没有打包沙火粉给我吃，我就很生气。为什么我打电话叫他帮我买一个什么东西，他又没有买到？豉油我买都黑油。又要骂他什么？这是很小的事情，叫骂哈。所以先把它写下来嘛。好了 ，OK 啊，2个礼拜太久是吗？3天了，先试3天好不好？以后呢越来越长，先不要吵，先把它写下来啊。3天过后呢，坐着好好的谈。哎，所以另外一个老师他有个方法，他说，如果大家吵架的话呢，一定要算什么 10 seconds。1、2、3、4，两个一起算哦。两个1、2、3、4、5算了10 seconds 讲 sorry。两个同时算哦，同时 say sorry 哦。哎，他说那个也很好用，现在就少很多，可不可以啊？哎，你要跟我吵架了，吵，然后呢 ，1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、9、10 sorry 啊。你试试看嘛，很多 method 的，最重要就要把它不要当时发火 ，OK， 重点啊，不要当时发火。孩子呢也一样的，你当时又要，他们说什么？我们常常做 teapot， 什么叫 teapot？ 妈妈最会做 teapot 的，这就叫 teapot 了。你看，妈咪又做茶壶了。不要整天做茶壶嘛！你是有做茶壶，你做什么？哎呀，你做一个很优秀的，一片君子的竹子嘛，一个很高贵的兰花嘛，不要就这样老是指着人家，收回来，写，先写，因为呢，你写又有困难是吧？你又得想了，是不是？你想着怎么写这个字的时候，你的气不是消了咯？是不是？你一直还要去找 dictionary 是吗？还要去找 dictionary 啊，你找得来不气没有了咯，是不是？找 Google 也得 type 嘛。这个恨字不知道怎么写了哦，讨厌的厌不知道怎么写 ，Wait， let me go and find dictionary。然后 dictionary 他就写厌啊，讨厌、厌恶、厌什么这个，哎，他就原来有这样多解释是吧？你看你又有文化，又没有那么气，那不是很好吗？加上找个 Chinese English dictionary， 因为他只会 English， 你知道吗？ He can only understand English. She can only understand English. So 我就找个 Chinese English dictionary. How to say 讨厌啊？讨厌 Oh, I hate 啊 ，H-A-T-E 啊。你就看完写，哎 ，maybe hate is not so good 啊 ，not too pleasant。哎，你看，你慢慢又学到文化，脾气又慢慢的好，那不是很好吗？哎 ，so reframe yourself, let go, okay, and only think about the good things. Okay, remember those four phrases. Okay, excuse me. That means please forgive me. I'm sorry. Thank you, and I love you. Okay, and there was an experiment done. Okay, if you ask somebody without an excuse me, the chances of you getting that thing is less. Try this, okay? Anytime you want to ask for a favor, you say, excuse me, can you borrow me your pencil? 10 times out of 10, you'll get it. But if you just say, can you borrow me your pencil? You won't get it. You may get it, 2 out of 10, okay? So learn to say what? Excuse me. And the next one is thank you. Excuse me, this, and thank you. If you keep on doing this, your children will do the same thing. He or she will come to you, excuse me, mother, can I take my bath later? And you will say, that's not the mother. I'm asking the mother, okay? And the mother will say, why? Why do you want to take your bath later? You see, you start negotiating, right? And they excuse me because I have to do my homework first. And they will say, oh, okay, but you must remember, okay, you cannot take a bath over, after what time? And then your child will say to you, thank you. Okay? So whenever you hear him or he say excuse me, you have to what? You have to try to excuse them, but let them know the limits. Because if you don't let them to groom them this behavior, they'll just say I should be rude to you. I say, excuse me, can I? My son is so polite. Why do you want to, why do you need to have this money? And you start to talk to each other with respect. Okay, don't just say, no, you cannot. Well, okay, I cannot. Okay, but say, tell them why he cannot. You also say, excuse me, you cannot. Okay? You also have to learn, we also have to say what? Excuse me, and thank you. The other is please. Always says please. Okay, please, can I have this? Please, may I do this? Please, have to do this. Never, say, that's always not enough of please. So say please, excuse me, and thank you. Okay, and in your heart you say, I love all of you. Okay, love all equally. Okay, so thank you very much. We'll see you next week. Okay? Thank you.